Hey, it's Debs from Soul Harmony Yoga. Welcome to week 2 of our personalized online teaching support for you, for your helping you to set up a home yoga practice. This week I want to talk about how you're actually going to make sure that your alignment is correct. Often people will ask me when they're like, how do I know that I'm doing the class right if I'm in a room on my own and I'm watching a video? And the second thing that I want to look at is we're going to look a little bit more deeply into how to choose the right yoga practice for you on the day that you choose to do your practice. So last week we had a look at why you want to do your practice, and if you found that that was quite a lot to think about, there's a lot of questions there, then don't worry, you don't have to do everything all at once. And it's not about completing everything that I talk about, because this is something that you can continuously review again and again. So when you're learning something new, or you're introducing something new, or you're upgrading a practice that you're already doing, it takes time and just a little bit of focus to make sure that you're actually putting energy into something that you really want to put energy into. And the thing is that I'm really noticing for myself as I do this more and more, because I'm learning so much by, setting up an online website and all this technology and marketing. And, it's just a minefield. But I'm so determined to do it, and, I'm really passionate about doing it, so that keeps me going. But what I have to keep an eye on is when I start to implement something new, my mind will come up with lots of different reasons why I can't do it, why I shouldn't do it. And I don't know why we're like that as human beings, but we are. So just being mindful of that and noticing that you might start to get really busy when you want to do your yoga practice. And just, acknowledge that you're getting busy in your mind and you're coming up with lots of different things. But now you'd actually quite like to do a yoga practice because you want to come back to feeling peaceful and balanced. And so, here the mind monkeys is what people call them, I've heard, but just come onto your mat and, start your yoga practice. So today, we're going to be looking at how I make sure that your alignment is correct. So I'm going to show you a blog that I've put together and a short video that you can come back to again and again. I'll add the link into the comments when I've finished. So I'm just going to switch this over to being on. There's me and Al when we bought our first car. Now I could go through my photos here. I've just put them on. That's my friend Heidi. Me and Al, New Year's Eve. Let's move over. So I'm going to show you this blog that I've put together. So the blog you will find in health blogs. There's loads of blogs. I usually do about 1 or 2 a month. Sometimes I have videos as well. And it just gives you a more of a holistic viewpoint of your yoga practice. And it's more of a lifestyle than just your yoga practice as a separate section into your day. So there's 5 tips that I go through on here. And the first one is thinking about if you've got current health issues, then using the mapping tool that I showed you last week, that I'll show you again this week, to think about what it is physically that you're trying to address with your yoga. So just making sure that you're doing classes that are specific to what you need. And then a couple of things like taking time to listen to your body. So maybe just quietly sitting and scanning through your body and noticing if there's an area that jumps out at you, is a really, good way of making sure that your yoga practice is the right one for you. In terms of alignment points, things like when I'm doing the videos, I will demonstrate a posture first, so you can watch the video and then play it back and listen to the specific alignment points that I talk about. And I do have another video that I go into alignment points a little bit more, that I've just popped onto YouTube recently. So if you head on over to Soul Harmony Yoga on YouTube, you'll find that video there. So looking at watching things first, and then if you've got an option to have a mirror that you can, so say when you're doing a stretch in this way, you can kind of check that your shoulder isn't forward or isn't back, but it's in alignment with how I talk about it on the video. And just start to look at how it, or see how it feels when you're in that position, so that you can, start to feel what it feels like to be in correct alignment. And throughout the videos, there's lots of tips of what angle to have your foot, what you're going to feel in your body when you're in correct alignment. So I guide you through the videos each time when you're doing the online yoga class. So if there's any questions about that, please do drop in the comments below, because everyone might be thinking the same question, but nobody wants to ask. So feel free to ask questions about alignment points and specific alignment points as well. I'm more than happy to help you with those. Okay, so the second part I wanted to go through was, I'll just come back to here, was how to choose the right practice for you. So I'm going to take you through a short relaxation, really, or a short meditation, just a short focused period that you can do when you come onto your mat in the morning. So one of my students posted or sent me an email yesterday that I posted on Facebook about how she started just putting her mat down. Thank you, Shirley, for that moment of genius. It's fantastic. Where she puts her mat down when she's doing a practice in the morning, the mat is already there and she steps on it. And this is a process that if you have your mat down already, you just step onto your mat and just take a few seconds to start to tune into your body and just scan through your body. Just notice how it feels, just starting to really focus on your physical body. And then from there, you can start to just allow your focus really to go to your breath. Just notice the breath and the movement of your physical body. So you're really starting to just draw your awareness into yourself and away from all the external sort of noise and distraction that goes on around us. And then maybe just looking at how you're actually feeling. And notice if there's something that you want to shift emotionally. And then just notice if there's something that you want to feel, depending on your experience of working with energy. You might want to just scan through your chakra points and just notice if there's energy depleted in one or there's an imbalance somewhere. So don't worry if you don't know too much about that. We all have different things that we work with. So then once you've come to whether you're working on a physical posture or, it's something, something for your physical body, or if you want to do something for your emotions or you want to do something for your energy, then you can come back and I'm going to show you and revisit the mapping tool. Okay, so if you come on to, so you've signed on, you've registered, you've browsed down to all available courses. I think it says that at the bottom. Browse available courses is what it says. This is the course library. And just come into course bonuses. And you could have this downloaded and just have it either in your ebooks or on your desktop. So you don't need to keep coming back to it through this way. In fact, I should do that myself. Why have I never thought about that before? Okay, and then I'm just going to click on the mapping tool. And then depending on if you've chosen something for your physical body, or you want to work on emotional, spiritual benefits, just scan through the courses. And sometimes, as I said last week, one will just jump out at me. So it's all around just noticing and giving yourself that couple of minutes when you come onto your mat to just consider where you're at right now. What is it that you want to either just come into? Do you need a really relaxing yoga class, or do you feel like you want to be quite energized? Just have a look. There's so many classes in there now. If you have a particular something that you want to address, but you're not sure how to find it on the mapping tool, that's what I'm here for. Drop me an email, and I shall direct you to where you can get that information, and then you'll have it for yourself. So that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and thanks for all the input that people are putting in as well. Please do put questions on Facebook, and let's try and start to get some community going with people that are sharing this experience with me, because I know that there's people doing it, and it's really nice to hear what other people are experiencing, because it gives other people options of things that might work for them as well, so not just coming from me. So that's always really handy. So this week, just to recap, have a think about starting to focus on your alignment points and listening to the alignment points on your video on the online yoga class, and just having a look and getting onto your mat, taking a couple of minutes to see how you feel, and then going through the mapping tool. And it may be that you kind of plan out a few yoga classes depending on what you're doing, because you might want some of the classes in the library are actually courses, so you might spend 6 weeks doing the mindful practice course and doing that class once a week. So there's lots of different ways that you can use the website as well, depending on what it is that you need at any given time. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely week, and thank you for all the input, and I will see you next week. Have a great week.